Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Just came back from getting my infusion today on a cold, foggy morning. And I was thinking about something while I was driving back. And that's, what skills and what things that I've learned that have benefited me over the years. Now, you see a lot of prepping videos that talk about, top 10 skills to have and flashy stuff like that. But what actual things that I've learned that have actually benefited me? Anybody can put together a list, but real world experience, I think, trumps any list that you're going to find on the internet. So I thought I'd just go over a couple of these things. Some of these things are hard skills, physical stuff, and some of it's mindset because there's certain mindset things that have helped me out quite a bit too over the years. And the first thing is learning anything you can medical. And I'm not just talking about medical for people, I'm talking about veterinary medical. Anything that you can pick up knowledge wise and any skill on how to do anything. I've never ever been steered wrong by anything medical that I've ever picked up, whether it's old time herb lore, how the old timers took care of things, things that I've picked up from doctors and nurses over the years, and the same thing with veterinary stuff. I've had a lot of time spent at veterinaries. That's something when you're out on the farm and you got animals, vets kind of go hand in hand with that. And I still remember things how my mom took care of animals that were hit by a car, or chickens that had runny noses and stuff. There's just an infinite amount of that stuff. So anything medical that you can learn and retain and keep, that any medical knowledge, that's going to benefit you in the long run. Another thing is gardening, and basic kind of sort of farm stuff. And I'm not talking big agribusiness farm stuff like what they have today, but small farming stuff. How to get your apple tree to bear apples, or how and when to plant stuff, how to save your seeds. Being able to look at your vegetable plants as they're growing in your garden, know what they're lacking, know what they need. Um, knowing when to water, when not to water, knowing when to fertilize, knowing when not to fertilize, how to make compost. Just knowing those small things have just been infinitely beneficial to me over the years. Another thing is being able to fix stuff. I'm a terrible mechanic, I'm a bad carpenter, and I'm a worse electrician, but any little bit that you can pick up um, to diagnose and to fix things yourself, because in an SHTF you might be the only one that you can rely on to get that stuff done. So any little ability on how to fix things has been important. Another thing is processing meat, um, butchering animals. Whether it's a chicken, or it's a deer, or it's a cow that fell, that broke a shoulder and they can't do nothing with it, and you can get something like that, whether it's processing hogs or smoking meat, or making sausage, anything from small stuff like a squirrel to chickens and ducks to domestic animals, even something as large as a bear. I've never ever regretted not having that knowledge on how to skin and process animals and meat. That has always come in handy, and it's always been beneficial to us. Um, and general skills out in your environment. And when I say environment, the most common thing is like bushcraft and wood lore and woodsmanship and hunting and fishing and that kind of stuff. But being able to interact and pull things out of your environment, that goes for both the country and the city. Because I know people that live in the city that are just as resourceful of finding stuff in those urban environments as I am out in the country. And I've never ever been stirred wrong about utilizing my environment and finding things in my environment that has benefited me. And then this goes into one of the mindset things, and this is observation. Um, you can never be too observant about what's going on. And and the big one that's always talked about on the prepping channels is OPSEC. Everybody talks about OPSEC and looking out for danger and stuff. But there's another side to that too, and that's also looking out for resources and finding and being able to recognize the things that can help you in a multiple different situations, and sort of striking when the iron's hot. When you see that opportunity to go ahead and to seize on that and use that to make your situation better. Another thing is don't be too quick to judge. And we live in sort of a judgmental society nowadays. And I'm not talking about, the power brokers and the elites and that kind of stuff, but just your fellow man, the people you run into on the street, people friends and neighbors. Don't be too quick to judge, because you just never can tell what those folks have been through and what they have seen, how they react to different situations. Sort of like the Bible says, let ye among you without sin cast the first stone. Just don't, try not to be judgmental, because I've seen many situations where people who really didn't get along had to work together to get some type of goal accomplished. And you might not always be with the people you want to be with to get things done, to survive in a particular situation. So it's best not to be judgmental, at least in my experience. And the last thing I've mentioned before comes from a friend of mine who passed away a few years ago that really had some rough times. But he talked me through a bad situation once when I was when I was a lot younger, and until this recent medical thing that I'm going through here is probably the worst time that I ever went through in my life. But he said all the answers lie inside you. You just have to be able to find them. Every answer to every problem that you have is inside you. You have to somehow dig deep down and find those answers, because they are in you. And he was 100% confident of that the answers to life's problems he could find in himself. And he partake that knowledge onto me, and I still carry that around. So whenever I run into a problem, I think back to that, and I'm like, well, I just got to sit down here and I got to think this through and find out what the solution is to that problem. And that little bit of advice has served me just so well over the years. But these are just some of the prepper skills that I have found, both hard skills and kind of mindset stuff that have benefited me over the years. And I figured it was worth just going over them with you guys here today while I was thinking about this kind of stuff. But anyways, Modern Refugee, I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys get a little information. Hope you get some benefit out of these videos that I make here for you guys. And as always, you guys take care.